So, arguments. Before I joined debate and generally started arguing, I thought arguing was speaking dramatically back and forth at individuals. But I've learned that's not true. Hello, my name is Sal C, and today I'm going to be discussing proper and improper arguing. So what are the keys to proper arguments? I've developed 3 simple steps. They help me survive any debate, and you may survive out in the real world just a little bit longer. The first step is do your research. Whenever possible, you need to anticipate any angle someone may bring to you. Whatever someone's saying, you want to be able to rebut it. You want to have something to say in response. This is key because you sound smart, you sound knowledgeable. But sometimes, maybe you slept through your alarm, you didn't quite feel like it, or you didn't know that they were going to say that. You didn't do your research. So what do you do then? First of all, don't panic, and especially don't show your panic. The first step is confidence. You want to have the confidence of someone who's never been wrong in your life. You are a politician. Everything you say is right. Everything you say is good. You've always been right. Why would your opponents even think to say that you're wrong? This confidence is key because the first impressions are going to matter. If you have a long silence and don't know how to respond, your opponents are going to know your weakness. But you can respond without actually answering their question. You want to respond to their question in the best way possible that allows you to bring it back to your research and restate what you do know. The idea here is you want people to leave thinking, it doesn't matter that they didn't know this small fact. Look at everything else they said. Everything else said was so smart. This is key, because if you haven't done your research, you need to be confident and restate everything you do know, proving that it's inconsequential compared to the breadth of everything else you've said tonight. But the third thing, as Gershon Cohen would tell you, doesn't matter how many statistics you're going to yell at the judge, because the judge is going to get bored. The third thing you need to do is consider that the people in front of you aren't just robots taking notes about you. They're humans, and humans have interests. If I were to say to you, the Dow Jones fell 3 points today, this is a really big deal for the stock market. Some of you may care, but most of you may get a little bit bored and think this doesn't really relate to you. But if I were instead going to say, the economy is really taking a hit, the price of eggs, the price of milk, the bread's never on sale. These are things you care about, because these are things you see every day. We had a debate talking about workers' rights, and opposed to throwing out more statistics about how wages have gone down, it was key to appeal to the humanities, because no one in this room is running Tesla, but we're more likely to be working for Tesla. So in this, it is key that we understand that the people around us are humans, and we're all sharing interests. You don't want to find a specific interest. You want to find a general interest we all care about. So let's go over the 3 key steps to winning your argument. Firstly, you need to do your research and prepare for this argument. But if you don't do that, you need to be confident in the information you do have. And it appears that you're not fazed by the fact that you're wrong. You're not fazed by the fact that your opponents just told you you're wrong. Because why would we listen to them? You're the one in the right anyway. And third, you need to understand that people are people, and that people have interests outside of your statistics. Appealing to humanity is what makes you stand out from your opponents. You stand out in your arguments. So we covered how you should argue. But really quick, let me remind you things you absolutely shouldn't do in your argument. You should never be closed-minded. You should never immediately shut down an argument. Because yes, your main goal here is to win the argument. If you immediately shut down an argument without addressing it, you're going to look weak, as if you don't have information to defend this argument. But as I was saying earlier, even if you don't, you need to act like you do. You should never be closed-minded. You should never lack confidence. The moment you lack confidence, you've lost. Even if it's fake confidence, even if you're playing a character, you're still showing this confidence. Thirdly, something you should never do in an argument. You should never show your cards. Now imagine you're playing poker, and that you should definitely be taking poker advice from me, an 18-year-old in a Showcase Center lobby. But hey, I have the confidence. When you're playing poker, you never want to show your cards. Then everyone's going to know your next move. You always need to appear as if everything you're saying is planned out, because I wrote down everything I was saying just now. Everything you're saying is planned out. You know it's gonna go great, and you know you're gonna win. And most importantly, you need to understand the point of the argument. If the point of your argument is to have an open-minded discussion, you can feel free to have much more free discussion. But if you know that someone's watching you, someone's judging you, it's very important that you argue to win. You need to understand your surrounding. So, even if you're not going into debate tomorrow, even if you don't plan on getting into a very elaborate political discussion tonight, it is still key you know how to argue. Because we know how to argue, you know how to discuss. And we know how to discuss, you know how to interact with the world. Thank you.